Jets fans, has Aaron Glenn already made his first big mistake as head coach? The preseason is just beginning, but the decision to put the starters on the field right in the opening game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is generating controversy, especially when we talk about names like Justin Fields, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson. Is it a necessary risk to accelerate the harmony, or a dangerous bet that can be expensive even before the regular season begins? Today, we will dive deep into this decision and analyze all the pros and cons. But before we get into it, if you're a die-hard Jets fan, make sure you're subscribed to Jetstream News. We're your go-to source for daily engaging content on all things. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers this offseason by hitting that subscribe button now. Welcome to the Jetstream News Channel, your New York Jets news channel. Here you will find fresh news, and to follow everything, don't forget to subscribe. Today, only 20.2% are subscribed to our channel. Help us by sharing so that the news reaches many more people. Let's go to today's news. Jets fans, the 2025 preseason hasn't even officially started yet, but the weather in Florham Park is already hot. And it's not because of the temperature on the training camp. Coach Aaron Glenn, in his first season in charge of the New York Jets, made a decision that divided opinions: to climb his starters in the opening preseason game against the Green Bay Packers. Journalists did not measure words when classifying the choice as the first big mistake of the new management, highlighting that putting key players on the field at this time represents an unnecessary risk. In the modern NFL, it is increasingly rare to see coaches climbing their starters for long periods in the first preseason games. The priority is usually to protect the main athletes from injuries and give space for reserves and freshmen to show service. The idea is simple. Elite players already know the system, while newbies and reserves need to prove their worth. But Aaron Glenn is going against the grain of this philosophy. For him, the harmony needs to start now, especially with the arrival of Justin Fields as a starting quarterback, a new offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand, and significant adjustments to the defensive scheme with Stephen Wilks. The problem is that names like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, and even Quinnen Williams carry a huge weight in the season. A preseason injury, as light as it may seem, can compromise crucial weeks of the regular phase or even remove the player for months. Historically, the Jets have suffered unexpected losses even before the season begins. Just remember the 2023 preseason, when then quarterback Zach Wilson was injured right at the beginning, generating last-minute changes in offensive planning. Other analysts point out that the depth of the cast is still unknown. Despite the good additions in the draft and free agency, the Jets cannot afford to lose key pieces, especially in impact positions such as quarterback, edge rusher, and wide receiver. The benefit of seeing the starters in action does not compensate for the risk, especially against an opponent like Green Bay, who must adopt physical posture to test his own cast. On the other hand, Aaron Glenn believes that this is the ideal time to solidify chemistry and game rhythm. For him, seeing the attack and defense working in a real situation, even if for a few snaps, is essential to 1. Accelerate Justin Fields' adaptation to the system. 2. Validate defensive adjustments in the front seven. 3. Test alignments and field communication under pressure. 4. Establish the physical standard he wants for the season. Members of the coaching staff say that the starters will probably only be on the field during 1 or 2 offensive and defensive campaigns, which would reduce the risk of serious injuries. If everything goes as planned, this decision can bring clear strategic benefits. More harmonious attack in the first weeks. Adjusted defense against different offensive formations. Players understanding the rhythm and intensity that Glenn demands. But if there is any significant injury, the decision may become a shadow that will accompany Glenn throughout the season, especially since 2025 is seen as an accelerated reconstruction campaign. The duel against Green Bay now gains an extra weight. Fans and analysts will observe Fields and Wilson's performance in the first snaps, the intensity of the defense under Stephen Wilks, the offensive line rotation, which still needs to be proven, the physical response of the holders after real contact. Aaron Glenn is showing that he is not afraid of bold decisions. Climbing starters at the opening of the preseason is at the very least a high-risk and high-reward bet. If it works, the Jets can start the regular season more prepared than ever. If it goes wrong, this choice can become the first major point of criticism of the new coach. And in New York, we know that the patience of the fans and the media is limited. If you want to follow every detail, every controversy, and every decision that can change the course of the Jets in 2025, leave the like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. Here at Jetstream News, you stay on top of all the news, analysis, and backstage directly from Florham Park. Let's follow together whether Glenn's choice will be a masterstroke or the first big mistake of the season. And as always, go for it, Jets. Thanks for watching.